Hey, I am at Copenhagen Airport and I have a few hours to spare. I'm going to Scotland this weekend to see a friend, and since I have these hours, I think I might just, give you guys a few list reviews. So these are two list reviews for high-level competitive players who have made lists for version 3 years, which I think are actually good indications of ways in which the meta of version 3 could go. So let's go and see what happens, shall we? Right, here you go. This first one is from Jordi Morsch, the Dutch player. Jordi has played in many of the top tournaments in Northern Europe. He's been to international world championships, and this is his idea. So it's an Italian platoon. He's bringing an inexperienced lieutenant, and then 8-man rifle platoons with an LMG. Now, Jordi writes to me that he's thinking about whether or not he can cut something somewhere in this. And I think one of the places where, sorry, the airport is going off. One of the places where I think you could actually change up a little bit is in these rifle platoons. I think you could fairly easily cut one or two men. Because why is the rifle platoon really there? Is it there to push up, or is it there to be a backline holder? Right now, it's more or less a push unit, and I think you've got good push units with the San Marco Marines, the veterans. So I think I would cut one, maybe two dudes in these rifle platoons, and then tactically have them further back in your own deployment. An AT rifle team, which is really good in this new edition. A sniper team, which I'm not a massive fan of in V3. Some people like snipers. I'm not feeling them at all. A heavy weapons platoon with medium mortars and spotters. Yeah, these are good. An inexperienced lieutenant to go with those. Like those medium mortars there, because they can all spot by each other's spotters, it's going to take at least 3 turns before an enemy sniper clears out all those spotters. Alternatively, the enemy has to dedicate quite a lot of resources to kill those spotters, so he's not going to do that. And then an armored platoon, the light Simovente, I don't know what that is, but it is very, very not 26 points, something inexperienced. It's a command vehicle. Is it unarmed? Something is off here, because you're not getting an armored vehicle for 26 points, right? Unless a heavy semi-movented and a heavy semi-movented with medium AT guns. Now these are really good on ambush. Really good on ambush. 9+. They're basically Stuks, right? And an M15 regular, that's the darker tank. Which in this version is not great. Now, 1250 points and 15 order dice. That is the problem here for Jordi. How does he cut that down? One of the things that can be done is to remove the light Semovente and just upgrade one of the heavy Semoventes with a command vehicle, saving approximately 16 points on that. But you're losing 1 order dice, so that's not good. You could also remove one of the heavy Semoventes, but I think this list needs those because it's the only AT they've got, the only real AT. What about the San Marco Marines? Do they have to be 8-man? I'm not sure yet. The problem here is everything is rather expensive, isn't it? Everything is rather expensive. And still you end up at 1250 points. Or 15 order dice. I think the obvious place is maybe to cut the sniper. That sniper could easily be two light mortars. 21 points or something like that. 26 points. Somewhere in that ball game. So that's approximately 2 for that. That would boost you to 16. If you cut down the rifle platoons here to 6-man squads, you would also have for another order dice of something. Don't know what, but you would have for another order dice because you would be cutting 40 points, right? So that's the easy fix, I think. And that would boost you to 17 order dice. Is it enough? I'm not sure. But we can go and compare this to the other list I have for you today, which is from Alistair Unicom. Alistair posted this on Facebook. He also sent it to me, so I'm guessing it's okay that I do this for you, Ali. This is another list, and look here, this is the difference. It's 1100 points and 15 order dice. That's why I think 1250 and 15 is too low, because you can go and get for 1100 points, 150 points less, you still get 15 order dice. Now, this is an American platoon, so obviously there's differences. The first is a rifle platoon with a commander, inexperienced, and then look at this, infantry squads here. Inexperienced infantry, he is clearly spending the points on something else. 6-man inexperienced infantry, these are not good, can't really do anything, but you do have 6 men, so moving and shooting, you will be hitting on 5s. No, you'll be hitting on 6s, which means that if you have 6 men, you're rolling 6 dice. On average, you should have a 6 in every one of those, right? And he's got 3 of those, 1, 2, 3. And one of the units here is regular. It's got a couple of submachine guns. It's a little bit of a push unit, but the infantry here is not massively powerful. Then he brings a company commander for that extended command range bubble to get the infantry moving and whatnot. Really love that. Really love that. And it's that snap 2-4 units is deadly if you get it at the right time in version 3. Version 2, I would never do this. Version 3, I am absolutely considering it. And look here. 2 light mortar teams. Yep. 20 points. That's what you can do with those points, Geordie, right? Take the light mortar teams. The light mortar teams now are interesting because they've extended the range. Yeah, they're not going to kill anything. They're still like not great killers, but they've got more range and they're very, very cheap. Truck and Jeep, not sure what this is useful for. I mean, you could potentially throw in the SMG armed unit here, which is a 6-man unit, and then maybe a platoon commander. He could snap 2, get the truck moving, get the guys out, or you could, outflank, or you could just use it as an MMG in your own back line. I'm not a massive fan of this, but you can do this. Inexperienced Jeep, I don't know what that's for at all. And then an armored platoon. And this is where the power comes in. Look at this. Stuart Darker tank. Right. So now the Stuart Darker has been massively rescaled, right? It's now not, as it says here, at 18 shots. It's at 9 shots because each of these is now only shooting 3 shots. But 9 shot is not nothing, right? And you can split fire 2 ways. You could potentially even, well, given enough time, there'll be an option to put a pintle mounted on. I can't remember if that's in the rule book, but I mean, so that would be a 3-way split. So the Darker tank is not necessarily dead, but it is massively reduced in power. It no longer is the powerhouse that could delete units. It can definitely hurt you, and if you're a small team, yeah, it can kill you. And this is the command version of it. Now, remember, command versions of vehicles get +1 for other vehicles, and they get to snap to 1 other vehicle. So a reduced version of the commander. And we get another Stuart-like tank here. Let me just check out, because I think we're going to need, let's see, we're going to need the next picture here. Nope, that's not the way to go. Look at his army, by the way. It's lovely, isn't it? Confederate what if army. Love it. It's really beautiful. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Darker Stuarts and a Sherman. All of them regular. That's where all the power of this list is. It's in that single selection. And look at the power level difference here, right? From Geordie's, which has a little bit of power in the infantry, a little bit of, you can shoot indirectly with the mortars and stuff. And this one, which leans massively into the tanks here, right? And these tanks are going to be deadly. He's got 4 light AT guns, and he's got 1 Sherman medium AT gun with a 9+ armor value. He is going to blast anything that faces him off the table. Now, are these deadly to infantry? Well, not so much the Sherman, but it can still spit fire 2 ways. And with the new shooting rules, you're pretty likely to hit. So at least they can dish out quite a lot of pins. The Stuarts, though, are still deadly. A lot reduced, yes, but still deadly. If you focus fire, if you get a lot of them to gang up on something, and you really can with this because you've got 4 of them, right? So that is the power of this list. It's a massively powerful list. It's a massively, in many ways, it would be an old meta list, right? If this was version 2, this list would be overpowering. Now, we don't know. We don't know how this is going to go, but I will say this, in time for a little anecdote. I tested my World Open War list out against this army, and I struggled to win against it. I really did. I think some armies are not designed to deal with this amount of armor in version 3, and I think that can be overpowering in some missions. And so yeah, that was it for me today. I hope I see you in the next one. Cheers.